Welcome to the complete guide of eating healthy, guys. Whether you're trying to just eat a bit healthier, whether you're trying to bulk, whether you're trying to cut, it doesn't matter. In this video, I'm going to be showing you a bunch of examples. Instead of just talking and yapping, and these examples should and hopefully help you guys and inspire you guys to eat healthy, show you guys what healthy eating actually looks like, and of course, just some general tips and principles of what eating healthy actually means. Let's get to it.
So let's start off with the basics, starting off with a healthy breakfast.
First principle that we must keep in mind, guys, is food substitutes. Just look at this breakfast, for example.
This morning I'm having 2 slices of toast with cottage cheese and peanut butter and 3 eggs. My example of the food substitute is the cottage cheese. That is 97% fat-free and, as it says here, very high in protein. Now this peanut butter is Smunchy 5-seed peanut butter, not just any normal peanut butter. And it has pretty good protein here with 24 grams per 100 grams. Now the bread, it is sourdough. It is not white bread and it is full of seeds. And as you see, the macros are pretty good on this bread considering it is, bread. But enough of that. Let's talk about my breakfast.
The very first healthy breakfast I'm going to be showing you guys, that's creative. This one is specifically for the people who are trying to bulk, is like you saw, 3 eggs, 2 slices of bread with some peanut butter and cottage cheese. First thing is the taste test. That shit is so good. Now, let's try the eggs. And guys, the key aspect of eating healthy is you need to make sure you make your eggs just right with the yolk still liquid, just like that, because when the yolk is liquid, you get the most nutrients. Now, here are the macros for this meal. 50 grams of protein, 48 grams of carbs, and I don't remember how many grams of fats, with like 800 calories. So pretty small meal with a lot of calories. This is an easy way to bulk, guys, and still be healthy. Type of shit I'm eating to, get absolutely massive. Let's move on to the next meal. And this one is for anyone who's looking to eat as healthy as possible, except now it's dinner. And I will be making this for my family. Now, before I show you guys the delicious dinner I made, let's look at another healthy breakfast food substitute. Instead of bread, let's look at yogurts. And this one is really smart.
This absolutely delicious bowl of high protein yogurt, homemade with frozen blueberries.
You guys are looking to cut now, and you're looking for a even healthier substitute of an already healthy, meal or snack, you could say, and make your own yogurt, guys. What I did, I put frozen blueberries into the microwave, 1 minute, unfreezed it, added some yogurt with it, some really good yogurt with only 2 ingredients, and then, honey, just to add a bit of sweetener. I'm going to show you guys just like the ingredients afterwards. But just this thing here, we have around 200 calories. Just look here. Just under 200 calories, which is really good. And 16 grams of protein-ish. If you guys wanting a snack, this is perfect. But if you guys are looking towards eating a healthier meal, still cutting, then you guys can do exactly what I did over here. I'll show you guys over here. And just add your eggs and your coffee. When you add your 3 eggs and a coffee to your breakfast, you have around 500 calories with 33 grams of protein. So already better. Let's eat this.
Now, since Principle 1 focuses on food substitutes, let's analyze just how healthy my yogurt bowl really is. We have the 3 ingredients that go into my yogurt bowl, the big value pack because it is cheaper. Guys, blueberries is a crazy ingredient, so is honey. But we're not interested in those two. What we're interested in is the food substitute of this yogurt. Instead of buying some bullshit yogurt, get this one. It has 15 grams of protein, 15.9 grams actually, per serving, just under 100 calories. This is crazy. And look at the ingredients. It's just skimmed milk and live coaches. I really do recommend this yogurt for everyone since it's an absolute beast.
And now it's time, guys, to see the peak of what healthy eating looks like. I've showed you guys food substitutes. I've showed you guys how to make healthy food even healthier, following the make it yourself principle. More on this later. Let's actually look at what peak health looks like. Another key factor here, not just for myself, but for my family members.
So let's summarize information so far. Principle 1 is food substitutes. We've covered that. Principle 2 now, to understand eating healthy, we must understand what the pinnacle of healthy eating looks like. Basically, Principle 2 is use whole ingredients. Now this is the end product. Let me show you how I got to this. First up, let's cut up some sweet potato after you wash it into chip formation. Just do that. And with all of them there, you want to grab it and pop it in the oven. For the oven, you want to set it for 30 minutes, 220 degrees Celsius for the fan variation. Next up, add some butter to your pan. Spread it nice and evenly, and then add your homemade mince squished into a beef patty. Now what you want to do is just cook it. You guys know how to cook it. Just, keep flipping it until you see that it is ready, nice and juicy. Now what you want to do is just cut up your avocado, open it. You guys already know how to do this. No need to go on about it. So here's the setup so far. Still got 3 to go. Let's get on to that. Guys, added in some grapes. Oh my god, it's already looking delicious. I've already ate this and my mouth is already watering. But yeah, 3 eggs added in. Add some of that salt, some of that pepper. I already seasoned the hamburger meat before. And now what you want to do is add a bit of water like I just did and put a pan over it so then the top actually, cooks as well, not just the bottom. When it is ready, as you see here, oh my god, it's so delicious. You don't even need to add oil, guys, because the oil is ready from the meat. Cook it, and then just transfer it again to that wooden cutting board, because, wooden cutting board has the vibes. But just like that, we've finished that. And in the meantime, your sweet potato should be ready after you do all that. Now, I purposely didn't add any oil so then it can, fry a bit. So what's the result? Add oil right now. Add a bit of salt. You can even add paprika if you want. I didn't do it because of my family. But yeah, and that is the final result, guys. Some delicious sweet potato chips. Crunchy, but also soft at the same time. And just this delicious anabolic meal that will make everyone healthy. You guys should all make this for your family. And this is what happens, the result of the meal. Look at my little man. My little man is actually enjoying it, and he actually enjoyed this meal a lot. And this is my plate, guys. What do you guys reckon? Good or bad out of 10?
A delicious meal in front of me. Can't wait to dig in. Like, look at that egg. Like, that's like still solid. Look at that. Mmm, mmm, mmm. But as you see, guys, this is what true eating healthy looks like. Tip number 2 to match this is eat full ingredients. Avocado, sweet potato, grapes, mince. We actually made this mince ourselves. And then the egg. Full ingredients, super healthy. And as you saw, made it for my whole family so they can also be healthy. Eating healthy is not about being selfish, guys. It's about sharing this experience with other people around you so that they can help improve their brain fog, that they can help lose fat, build muscle, whatever they want to do. Let's eat! With that delicious dinner shown, hopefully you guys have seen what eating healthy looks like while focusing on, the food substitutes. Now, the next principle I want you to follow is the do-it-yourself principle. My example of this will be my pasta.
Again, let's see how this was made. What we're focusing on for the do-it-yourself principle is actually the sauce. Here we have garlic, pine nuts, olive oil, basil, salt, and pepper. We're gonna make our own sauce, you know, and basically just add it into a NutriBullet. Add some yogurt if you want your pesto to be creamy. You guys know I'm taking this delicious, healthy yogurt. And yes, it will take a little while for it to blend, but if you want it to be creamy, that's how it is, and you see it will actually turn out quite liquidy. Now, with your chicken in the pan as it's cooking, add in your seasoning, salt, some herbs, maybe some pepper too. And now it's time for some Barilla pasta. When your water is boiling with the olive oil and salt, add in your Barilla, or whatever pasta you guys want. When the chicken is cooked, add in the zucchini, add in the mushroom, and just give that a little mix. Now let's add the sauce. And just look at that, guys. Delicious, creamy pesto, all homemade, natural ingredients, which is principle two, with good food substitutes, which is principle one. The principle three is obviously actually making the pasta. But after you have finished it, add in your pasta if you guys want, and then just give it a little mix. And just like that, we're all done.
This is actually the third time I've made this, but let's actually try. Nothing matches homemade pesto. Oh, I actually forgot now. I forgot to add the cheese. That was the thing that was missing. But going on from the other food examples, this one, make your own sauces. Choose your food substitutes that are better for you, like that yogurt instead of some sour cream, like the bread with avocado, cheese, and ham, or peanut butter and cottage cheese instead of some butter and some jam or some Vegemite. It's actually really easy to be healthy if you focus on these things. Now I want to go and finish this delicious meal. So I've talked about both dinner and lunch meals. The delicious dinner with the eggs and the meat, and of course, the pasta. And I've also talked about my breakfasts, the toasts, the yogurts, and the eggs. But how about snacks? Snacks are even more important to consider than meals because when you eat snacks, you don't really count them to your overall calories. But if you snack throughout the whole day, you see that those calories of snacking can add up to thousands. That's good if you're on the bulk, but it's not good for most people if they're trying to maintain their weight or even lose their weight, especially this.
In other words, principle four is about volume eating. Consider this example. You have some popcorn. The popcorn weighs 30 grams and is 116 calories, whereas the nuts, on the other hand, is 80 grams but 475 calories. And look at the plate difference. What would you choose?
Volume does make a difference. That's how the principle I wanted to talk to you guys about. If we're trying to lose weight, you have to focus on volume eating. This massive bowl of popcorn only has 116 calories. You know how crazy that is? You eat 5 nuts, 6 nuts, and you already got that amount. On the other hand, if we're trying to bulk, you want to have smaller quantities, very high caloric foods. Nuts. If you're not trying to lose weight or, you know, gain weight, the general tip is, guys, eat both of these things because they are really healthy. Popcorn with just salt is really healthy. Surprisingly, quite a bit of fiber too. Nuts again, super healthy, super high in fiber. Just because something is high in calories doesn't mean you should stop eating it completely. Even if you are trying to lose weight, obviously you're not going to eat this much though. It's just about comparison. So, yeah, we can have popcorn to lose weight and we can have mixed nuts to bulk. We can also have nuts to cut and popcorn to bulk. The most important thing, guys, is to have a balanced lifestyle. Look at this healthy snack example just to show you guys, an example of a healthy, balanced plate full of healthy fats, and of course the carbs and the protein.
Now, before we do get into some additional tips, let's summarize the four principles of healthy eating. Principle one is food substitutes. Here we have, the cottage cheese with peanut butter with the best ingredients, and of course, good bread. Another example of this is my Evo toast with cheese and ham, which is another good food substitute instead of jam. And of course, the yogurt, instead of buying some yogurt, we made it ourselves, which is another principle with just the best ingredients. Principle 2 is whole foods with just one ingredient. This is most clearly shown through this delicious dinner I've made.
So good.
Principle 3 is make it yourself. And this is evident with my pasta pesto. Just look at how creamy that is. And also this other lunch here, which is just some mince and some veggies. Now, principle 4, guys, is volume eating. And this is, of course, shown through the nuts and the popcorn.
With this done, let me just give you guys some extra principles that I haven't talked about. And these are just general tips that are usually associated with eating healthy. And I do recommend them, but obviously, if you don't think it'll work for you, then don't do it. Number 1, eat a high protein diet. A high protein diet is key. Generally, it is 2 grams of protein per kilo. That is, of course, if you're trying to build muscle. If you're not really focusing on that aspect, it doesn't really matter too much. But this number 2 applies for everyone, and this is focus on your macros. That is protein, fat, and carbs, and have a good ratio. You can search more on that if you're interested, but also focus on your micronutrients, and this is the most important. General guide: have 1 meat source on your plate, have 1 carb source on your plate, and have some veggies, which are also important.
To clarify, look at this as my example. My carb source is my sweet potato. My protein source that covers both protein and fats, so all the macronutrients, is my beef patty. And now my salad, which is just some additional carbs, is more for the micronutrients. Obviously, the meat and the carbs also have micronutrients, but in this way, I hit all my micronutrient goals and my protein goal. With, of course, making sure I have a healthy amount of fats in my system and carbs.
And the last one, guys, just have a balanced diet. Eat some junk food if you want. You don't always have to eat healthy. I know some people, my friends, who eat so healthy throughout the whole week, Monday to Friday. He doesn't eat even rice. His carb source is sweet potato. But then on Saturday, he goes absolutely crazy. And on Sunday, he goes relatively crazy. Just eats whatever he wants. It's all up to you guys. Thank you guys so much for listening. Hopefully this video is applicable to you and have actually gained some knowledge. If you do like these videos with more examples instead of just talking, hit that subscribe button for the support. Any other video suggestions, again, just comment. But that's all for today, guys. See you all for the next one.